Plus, it takes some sweet effort. It takes about 40 gallons of sap to make just 1 gallon of syrup. Yep, you heard that right. That's a lot of work for 1 bottle of syrup. No wonder it's so valuable. But it's not just about taste. Maple syrup is actually healthier than many other sweeteners, especially since it has natural sugars and even contains minerals like zinc and manganese. So next time you drizzle it on your pancakes, you can feel a little better about it. And maple syrup is a miracle from nature. Trees spend the whole year storing energy just to produce sap during the spring. It's like they're giving us a sweet little gift after a long winter. Doesn't that make every drop feel even more special? Now that we know why it's so loved, it's time to dive into the step-by-step process of how it's made. This is where the real work begins. It's not just pouring sap out of a tree like turning on a faucet. There's a lot of steps involved, and it all starts with tapping the trees. The process begins in late winter or early spring when the weather is just right. Maple trees need cold nights and warmer days to get the sap flowing. Once that happens, it's time to tap. But how do they do it? First, a small hole is drilled into the tree trunk. Then, a special spout is inserted into the hole. This is called a spile. This spile is what allows the sap to flow out of the tree. And for all you nature lovers, don't worry, tapping doesn't hurt the tree. It's like giving the tree a little straw to share some of its sap. Before, people used buckets to collect the sap dripping from the spile. You might have even seen pictures of trees with metal buckets hanging off them. That's the old school way. But these days, many producers use a more modern system with tubes that connect the trees. This way, the sap flows directly into a big tank. It's faster, easier, and helps collect even more sap. Now that the trees are tapped, it's time to collect the sap. Here's something surprising. The sap isn't thick or super sweet when it comes out of the tree. In fact, it looks and tastes almost like water. That's because it's mostly water with just a tiny bit of sugar in it. The sap flows best when the temperature rises above freezing during the day. It slows down again when the temperature dips below freezing at night. This creates pressure in the tree that pushes the sap out. Producers check the tanks or buckets regularly to gather the sap before it stops flowing. The amount of sap a tree gives can vary, but a healthy maple tree can produce about 10 to 20 gallons in one season. When the sap is collected, it's taken to the next step. This is where the watery sap